It starts off in one and it goes to the other.
You think? But you have to.
You have that like feeling.
You think that's
Really, every day you have to choose to love that person. Like it's a decision every day you wake up. Like in marriage, like you have to, like I'm loving him today.
Are we? Because this is for me. It's a, are we talking about relationships? Are we talking about, because, loving. You can wake up and decide, you choose to love today. You know what I mean?
So then it's a decision.
When I say that, I'm choosing love today for my life, for me, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And then when you with someone, whether it be, somebody you're romantically involved with, I think it becomes a feeling at that point. Yeah. So for me, it's a little bit of both.
But if you have to choose one,
if you had to,
I'm always choose love. I'm gonna make the decision choose love.
No. Not whether or not you choose love or like. Is love a decision? Or is it a feeling?
I can't, because I feel like it's both. I can't choose. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for me, I feel that love is a feeling. It's something, it got to come authentic, because if you're choosing it, it don't come off as authentic as you would want it to be. So for me, I think love it's a feeling. You got to feel it. Sometimes, like when in a relationship, that person get those butterflies in their stomach. You can't choose those butterflies in your stomach. That's a feeling. So for me, love is a feeling.
I read those butterflies are like a warning, like go the opposite.
Yeah, I was about to say them.
Not it's just like
nervousness.
Well, when I say the butterflies, I mean that's that feeling that's in you.
Yeah.
You feel it.
The
You know what I
funny
mean?
feeling.
Give you
All like
that.
So what about when you've been in a relationship for a long term? Every day, that person may or may not give you butterflies. At that point, does it become?
Well, for me, I feel like it's very much a decision, only because I can get that feeling with every other person I date. You can, if you like dating and you have multiple people who I guess you frequently see or date, or if you've been in like I've been in multiple marriages, you have multiple long-term relationships, you have that feeling often. But when I say it's a decision, for me, it's a decision based on how I act after that feeling. Because I can easily like somebody or say, oh, I love you, but my actions after I say that, that's like I'm literally making a conscious decision on how I'm going to treat this woman, how I'm going to acquiesce to her needs and her feelings. It'll be a situation where I might normally just do something without thought. But now that I love her and I'm making that decision to act and behave accordingly and, a certain way with her, I'm going to slow down. Well, you know what? Maybe let me not just go out to the pool hall like that, or hang out to 2 a.m. on this night, or, let me make sure I send her a text, or I got home safe, babe, call.
that's love.
So no, I said my love comes with an action after it. Somebody, I could tell somebody I love them just based on the type of person they are.
That's an action.
My love would be just me understanding the person, who they are, and I admire them for that reason. And I may do something extra for them. But when it comes to that love in a relationship, that's a whole nother level. That's I pay your rent or your bills for you. Like that might be an active decision.
I know somebody do that without love.
Yeah,
that's do that without love.
Because I told people I loved them, and if they said, "Oh, I need $1,100 this month," it's I mean, I fool with you, but I mean, but again, if it's somebody who I love in that level, I never want to see them down. So they won't even have to ask if I know she had a rough month. Let me, I don't get that to you.
You still think it's
I still think it starts off and goes together. Because like in long-term relationships, not feeling love. Love is not a feeling anymore. It's like you really have to make that choice to commit to that person every day, because then you're not feeling it like that.
But do you start out with love? It takes me a minute.
Oh, to love someone?
Yeah.
Like while you're dating and stuff like that?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe you start off with love. I don't walk up and be like, oh, I love you.
No, I don't
No.
know. I don't put like a time frame on it. I just let it just let it flow.
Yeah.
It has to be mutual.
And get
like,
married without being in love.
Right.
Yeah.
No, what she's saying, do you start off with love? And to me, no, you can't start off with love.
And see,
You start off with love with your babies when you birth your babies. That's starting off with love. But no, in a relationship, no, it grows to that. It takes
See,
time and nurturing.
how I look at it as like love is, to me, love is a feeling. And when I think about the decisions you make, that's when you talk about loyalty. You know what I mean? Those are two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could love somebody and be loyal, or you could love them and not be loyal. And then the question to me is whether you rather have love or loyalty. You know, because you could love someone and be unloyal to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference for us. So love, you know, I still go back to feeling that it's a feeling.
But if you love them, you would be unloyal?
No.
You could somebody you could love somebody and not be loyal to them.
I guess, but for me now, though, it's degrees. There are levels to that.
Absolutely.
I think so. Yeah, you can love someone, and then in a moment of insanity, or or you can be disloyal to them in a moment. You know, but you know your intent is never to be unloyal to somebody you love. You know what I mean? I think it's levels to that. You know, the actions. You know, loyalty is an action that you choose to give to somebody, and you choose to take it away. So,
and that's why I say, as far as the feeling, love, you can't take it away. You know what I mean? It's either it's there or it's not.
Right.
But loyalty, you could choose. You could make that decision whether to be loyal or not.
True.
So
I agree.
that's how I kind of get
And
it.
the bigger thing with all of this is, I'm pretty sure if you ask somebody what their definition of love is, it's going to dictate different from everyone. All of us in here probably have a different definition of how we feel love, how we give love, how we perceive it, and everything.
We all have different love languages.
What he said was something that I've always told people. I'm like, you can love somebody and be completely disloyal to them. You can love somebody and be unfaithful to them.
But is that really truly love, though? If you can love somebody so much and just be so disloyal to them.
But I think for guys it's different.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, I guess for guys.
It's dudes who can love their wife and can go out and do whatever, however, and kill to protect their home. The same woman who they cheated with or slept with, if she get on the verge of like she gonna cross a certain type of line, she can get herself missing.
Yeah.
Because his loyalty lies right there in his home, and he'll draw a hard line in the sand. I never understood it when I was younger, because I used to hear those type of stories, and it's just like, bro, how you have a wife but you got 3 or 4 girlfriends? Like, I was, young and confused. I'm like 20, 21, and them dudes, like, they gave me the rundown of what about my household. It's a different type of cutoff.
So what I'm hearing,
He feels in a way about another person, but he doesn't have that same training or thought for himself.
this is so
Like, you let the enemy try to infiltrate your home, but you disloyal to it every
So what I'm hearing is mentally you're loyal to your family, but your dick got a different type of loyalty. That's basically what I'm hearing.
If you look at it,
That's what I'm hearing. He got a whole nother mind, and his loyalty is on something different, but mentally you all in at the house. Got it.
It's different. My whole thing is like protect the whole piece of the house.
Let us know.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't protect the piece of the home when you like run it loose in the streets. I don't think.
No.
But,
That's so stressful.
It is very
That's much work.
Do you think that your definition and views of love changed or have changed over time?
Definitely.
Like everything else, right? With mature. Yeah.
As you mature, your love language changes as you get older. Things that you thought you required for love is no longer there.
Or what
Your
you
new things,
saw
different
as
things.
love?
Or what you saw as love has changed.
For sure.
And then,
Yeah, it happens.
and then you think about the difference love, like the Aries love, you know what I mean? With love for, a family member or something like that. That Felipe love.
Yeah.
That brother.
Brother.
Or agape love, intimacy and things like that. So it's different from case to case.
Okay. So we were talking about how men's lower halves are not loyal to home so much. That brings me to my next question, which is, do men withhold sex from their partners? And if they do, why?
I think so.
I
But I'm gonna let the man answer first. But I totally think they do the same thing women do.
I
sometimes, just
actually-
withhold it.
I actually have done that before in the past, and when I did it, it was me understanding that there was a part of me that she craved for. So when we would go through it and like get into it like real bad, I would pull the I'ma just go and sleep in a whole nother room type of thing. And I know what she wanted, because even when she was in a dead heat of being mad, I know she always wanted to make up, and she always wanted to recover. So she would do her things and I would do my things. I'd go in a whole nother room and lock the door. But I still got to go to my bedroom to get something. But when I go to the bedroom, I hear a buzzing noise. Right?
Keep on.
She-
Don't do that too much
Hey,
for me.
But hold on, she already setting me up for the kill. So she hear me moving around. So I hear the buzzing.
Yeah.
She don't put her good lingerie on her. She doing all the stuff that I like. She cat calling hard. I'm beelining. I'm straight to the bathroom, the closet. Get out of there, Kert. Like, go back in the room. I've done it only because I felt like in that moment, that was my only source of power, believe it or not. Like, it was nothing else she needed me for, but she needed and wanted that. So it was just like, with her, he's still mad at me if he's not touching me. Now I have to that was my way of getting her attention to like, I'm not playing with you. Like, I'm really
talk it out.
because
Instead of all those
that particular person, that was my first wife. I was young. I was in my 20s. I didn't know how to talk it out fully. She definitely didn't know how to talk it out. So our language and our communication existed on those lines. Like, she clearly knew that if he's not touching me or paying me any attention in this type of manner, I know he's mad. So if she tried to, cat call me a little bit and I wasn't responding to it, now she's okay, now I got to sit down and listen to him. I got to listen to what he said 3 days ago, and I just brushed him off and walked off and whatever. But yeah, that was, and honestly, I think that's my only time I've been able to do that in life.
Bro, because our turn, you know that.
I think that was my only time of being able to get
We're
that.
not having sex no more ever. Because I can hold out longer than you.
And I think for men, well, at least for me, I understand that as well. But that time I could be an asshole too. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to play the card. I may not go to another room, but I'll sit in the bed and start making a lot of noise and doing my own thing, just to kind of piss my partner off or whatnot, but it's hard to resist that because they know that that's our weakness and they know how to get us every time with it. So it's very, very hard. So, so you got to be a very strong-minded brother to just say no,
Gotta go in that other room.
So why do women get such a bad rap when we withhold it? Do we do it more than men?
Absolutely. No, because they use it as a source of power, like he just hit. No, but he just did it in that particular instance.
Yeah.
Women do it all the time.
I wasn't using it as a weapon. I was using it as like, I'm trying to say something to you. It's the only way you understand me when I'm not doing this.
And
I don't withhold. I don't.
Use it as punishment. So you do this now. I'm not going to do this here. So his way of doing it was different from the way in which women use it. They try to punish us. That's different.
So, but for you though, what was your intended outcome?
My intended outcome just to be an asshole to show that person that I don't need you.
Yeah.
Okay.
To show it's made. Yeah. No, not really. Because
If you're in a relationship, you need my vagina just like I need your penis. Like, that's crazy.
No, we don't need it. We want it.
If we're in a relationship, that's a need amongst us. That's my need.
I don't have the energy to play them kind of games.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't
If
I don't
we're
withhold
together,
sex
that's
because
our
I'm
need. Just like the food that we eat. Me and you, we need this in our relationship.
So then, Alicia, how important is sex in a relationship?
It's very important. I feel like it's not the only thing, but it's important. I think some women lie about that. You know, just like they lie about looks not nothing. It is. I want to be attracted to you. But it's not like, but when you say that, you get a bad rap because you're like, oh, he got to be fine. No, he don't. I need to be attracted to him. And I need us to be friends because that come and goes too. The attractiveness goes away, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm in a committed relationship. I want to have sex with my man.
Facts.
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 I totally agree.
Now, I can understand you got in an argument and, you know, I'm not with it right now. But I'm going to be, just let me be for a little while. I'll get back.
How long is a little while?
Exactly.
Give me a day.
I don't need a day.
You don't need a day?
No,
Oh, you need.
I need us to talk at one.
Yeah, if I give about an hour or two, I'll be all right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Feeling sorry.
That's the best.
Made a mistake.
That's the best time to roll up on me. Which thing gotta go?
Sorry.
That's the best time to roll up on me. Is when you think I'm mad. That's the best time to roll up on me. I don't withhold sex. I enjoy sex too much to withhold sex. I want us to be able to communicate and talk it out. Because I don't like going to bed upset.
No, heck no.
You know, I don't want to be one in a room, one in the other room. Like, I don't want to live that life. That's not a healthy marriage or relationship.
Shit, it's bad.
Because I would have had a key to the room and I would have been like, no.
Yeah. See,
Because you said you went and locked the door?
Yeah.
yeah, sad.
Look,
Let me pick the lock too much.
only play, and that was like at the end of the road for us. That was like the same year we like separated, like finally. But I mean, that was my only play, and like every situation and everyone was different. Like what you said with the importance of sex, it's always been the importance to me. I've talked to people who are older, and sometimes that's not the top of their agenda for whatever reason. Maybe because the woman going through menopause, maybe because the man, he's just not that sexually vibrant. I literally have had men who sat in my chair and like they don't have to have sex but once a week, and it's just like I'm like, once a week. to me, that's saying to me. To me, all I heard was, I only need to eat once a week. I'm like,
well, how much you need to Kert?
Yeah. If I'm in a relationship, I need it as much as she want to give it to me.
It has to be.
So it's important.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't complain about it. I wouldn't complain about when it's twice. One during the week, definitely.
I might not complain.
I mean, there's other things you could do in order than penetrate. If you can only, penetrate once a week, that's cool. But there's other things you could do.
But it also
Because if I want it more, and that's not where you're at, you have to be able to compromise with that. Because trust and believe, women roll over, open them legs, or get on them knees and toot that ass up when they don't want to. So I think men need to understand that as well. Is you got to compromise as well.
When I got older, and it wasn't like I wasn't really old, but I guess when I was coming into my 30s, I kind of realized that I didn't. It was a level of comfort for me when a woman wanted it. So it didn't matter when I wanted it. It was just like, it was more of a turn on when I know she wants it. I got asked a question that from a video on Instagram a couple of days ago, and it was this guy saying how it doesn't matter the comfort level with men. Men just want to have sex and this and that. And I'm like, maybe for him, but with me, I like to have a comfort level. And when I have a comfort level, part of my comfort level is understanding that you want it just as bad as I do. I don't want to have to always initiate or say something about it. If it's just like you catcalling me, you sending me texts throughout the day, I'm like, oh yeah, babe, on it. Oh, she on it. Like, and that just get me riled up and game.
Right.
But
that's called intimacy. That's foreplay. That's working towards a big event.
Once in a blue moon, I'll want sex, and I don't care how my woman feel. And for me, like, that's once in a blue moon. And if I want it and I don't care how you feel, I probably gonna do like all the nasty stuff under the sun just to let you know how bad I want it. It's just like,
oh, it's nice with your mood.
he gonna run me into all of this just to. I told you, boy, I was tired. I had to study, had to work late or whatever. I'm like, hey man, hey, this that one time. Any other time I'm going off for you, but this one time I don't care.
You got to compromise.
Call somebody.
But that's what I was just saying, that compromise moment that, women do for men, even when they don't want to. And then men have to learn to do the same thing when we want it.
Oh, yeah, it's plenty of times.
And I think, too, through the whole process, it's about attitude. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because both parties got to have that attitude.
Right.
It's hard to be intimate with somebody that's resisting you. You know what I'm saying? But when they want you, you know what I'm saying, it intensifies the moment.
Of course.
When that woman wants you and you want, y'all doing a little plan, the
Back and forth,
and y'all get together and do the foreplay, that just intensifies the moment.
Right.
And like Kert said, you want somebody that's going to initiate it too. It should be reciprocated. It should go.
Oh, no doubt.
True.
A relationship everything should be reciprocation. It's reciprocated all the time. It should never be one-sided. And if you're in a one-sided relationship, leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's with relationships, friendships.
All of that. Never
relationships.
All the shit.
All them.
All of that. One-sidedness is not the way.
Yep.
So let me ask this then. We have everybody here is 40 and up.
I just like to say I'll be 51 on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
Yes. Okay. Go back.
Okay. So if we look at social media, it's mostly the younger generation that, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, they don't use Facebook anymore. Not that much. Why do you think this current generation is glamorizing what they can get out of a person what they can get out of a relationship instead of building something real with the person? Like, what are they missing? What are they not getting to the point where most of what they're posting in terms of relationship is about what they can get? I got flued out. I got...
Oh, the superficial get, because I'm just like, sometimes what you can get can translate into you building something. You saying that's like, definitely, it's definitely the music, because that's all the music. Like,
the thing, they get tricked with that because all the city girls got guys or husbands. Sierra just put out that song, they dragging her
something about independent.
Yeah, like, girl, you got a whole husband.
Yeah.
How you screaming that to other people? And how dare you do that? Because come on now. You're teaching the opposite of what you're living. That's
you got to think about it. Social media, you could really paint a picture of yourself that's untrue. And I think most of that generation, they want to start at the finish line. They don't want to put in no word. They want to start and finish the deal.
I think the problem is
and
everybody's. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Everybody's taking every word everybody says literally. Sierra wrote a song, just like every other song that has been written in history of music. It's just a song.
But Sierra put out a prayer.
But hold on,
the opposite of what you said. What you live.
She was in an interview and they asked her, and so she
made that part of her album.
She added it to after the fact. I think after the interview, then she made the album after that, and she said she prayed for a man like that. She was asked that. She said she prayed for me. So everybody wanted to know what was her prayer to get a man like Russell. They didn't ask how many frogs she had to kiss in order to get this, but I mean, some of them. Yeah, we did.
And look, knowing Sierra, she probably ain't even write that song.
But you have responsibility. If you're a star, you have a certain responsibility to preach certain things to the masses. Correct.
I don't know, because she's not a preacher. She's an entertainer.
But she has a platform.
Sir, she has a big influence.
She got a responsibility to stay famous.
We are expecting celebrities,
but she don't have to sell,
raise us and teach us, and I don't have that expectation from them.
Cause her man got
exactly.
Got it, but
she wasn't broke when she got with him either, though. It wasn't like she was working a 9 to 5. She had
no. I was saying she don't necessarily have to. Like if she retired from music today.
But listen, even though that they okay now, they got to sustain that lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it just don't stop just because they got
Right.
it right now.
Right.
It take a certain
And her relationship takes hard work. Every relationship. So while everybody's looking at, he treats us, so you never know what's going on behind doors. The kind of work they're putting in to have that type of life, and that's why I say we take too much we see on social media literal.
But
But Sierra's in our age group. What about
She in
those
y'all age group. She ain't in our age group.
I don't think Sierra
She
knows.
at 30. She in her 30s.
I thought she was in her 40s.
No, I mean she's in like early. She's in her 30s.
Mid 30s.
Her early 30s.
Yeah, like 30.
But
Okay, I made her old. But like, what about who are these other couples out here? You got them toxic ones, Blueface,
face.
Krishan,
No comment.
Megan,
Okay.
who?
'Cause I didn't
These
know.
young ones.
I didn't know those.
Young
Before. I'm gonna be honest. Not no shade. I just
JT.
that's just not my.
JT.
What's Miami?
With the
Young Miami.
That's a business.
I feel like that's not
business
real
venture.
at all.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I think that's I don't know.
Benefiting off it.
I don't know, guys.
Diddy back in the limelight like he loves.
I ain't mad at it. Not that nobody.
Getting money and getting put on.
If
different ways.
So
nobody.
y'all don't think it's a real
I
relationship?
think it's
I don't think so.
to fulfill a purpose.
Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't.
She coming up, he get the, now we talking about Diddy. We weren't talking about Diddy 18 months ago before Carisha. Now we know her name, Carisha.
Sometimes I think it's
Before it was Young Miami. Now she Carisha. She got shows, she got endorsements.
when they say Diddy like the boys.
She getting allowances.
Say what now?
They said Diddy like the boys.
Hey man, that's old.
You're always swimming our beach.
That's old news. That liking the boys and stuff when you a boy. That I heard that fly different in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's
It's
old
casual
news.
thing.
I heard them stories about him a decade ago, and it's just like when I heard it, I'm like shocked. They like, hey, man, they did it. What you want us to do?
But you got these kids though that's looking at social media as their point of reference. So
That's the parents' issue. Parents got to teach their kids otherwise.
Yeah, I think
well, if the parents don't know no better.
Again, I think it's that microwavable
That's the problem that
generation.
we can't help. Yeah.
They want fame quickly, and I think that's the quickest way to acquire fame.
Mm-hmm.
And that platform allow them to do it.
Some parents promote that.
They see a bad.
I heard a guy, Gary Vaynerchuk,
Social media is raising
on
people.
social media
It is.
talking about how social media and technology is, and he was just like, he's raising his kids to be very competitive when it comes to social media and marketing and branding. He was like, if my daughter put up a post and it doesn't get as many likes as she would like in a certain amount of time, they was like, if your daughter feels sad, what you gonna do? He was like, I'm gonna tell her to step her fucking game up. Take it down, put something else up, have better content, give a better message, but that's the era where he blossomed in. He's like our age, but he blossomed and blew up from his branding and marketing via social media. So he's teaching his kids to be the same way. Now, when average regular person, that's a whole different ball game. You actually could have a kid who's in your house who has a certain knack or talent with something where they can blow up. So you gotta, it's a fine line. I remember when my son was coming up in school, we were all looking at him. He was like a video game guru. He was like 4 years old, beating grown men in Madden and 2K. So I was on the verge at one point, like, yo, I'm gonna see how far he can go with this video game and stuff. They get money. But then his mom, like, I got to get him off the game. I want him to focus on school. I don't want him to drop out of school at 15 just because he made $1 million playing the game internationally. And, the course of nature took its place when he hit about 10th and 11th grade. And it's just like, yeah, he just became all of a sudden not into video games no more when girls start showing him attention. But that was a real conversation we had to have. And I'm just like, hey, man, $1 million way better than a degree. And nothing about that.
Well, a high school diploma.
I was like, this
Maybe
boy,
not
right?
a college degree.
He in the top
but
100 in the
diploma, He
world.
was only 15.
Yeah,
He need that
he
diploma.
was already in the top. I was gonna let him test out. He was smart. I was like, if he wanted to test out, he was already ranked like 110th in the world in the video game, and I'm just like, that's how I was looking. I'm looking at it from a monetary standpoint. She looking at it from parent standpoint. I was getting lost in the sauce, and she was just like, look here.
A lot of parents get lost in the
She
sauce.
was like, we have a
kids out
plan.
here
He's going to
can't
do this
spell.
first and do this, and I don't care what he does after that, you know? So it's a fine line. It's a very fine line.
And that's fine. But what people fail to realize, you want those kids to make that kind of money, but do they know how to manage that kind of money? So that's where education comes in. So it's fine to want your kid to be skilled in that, but you still have to be able to manage that kind of money. You have to be able to understand contracts and understand how, areas you need to be in. You're not going to learn that like that. You got to go get that education to learn it.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to bring it back because I don't know if we answered the question. Why do you think this generation glamorizes what they can get from a relationship instead of building something?
It's glamorized on social media. It's laziness. They don't show the us lazy part of it because there's consequences to those actions. But that's not shown.
It's lazy.
Like some people,
I'd rather have a baby from a rich man so I don't have to work and he can take care of me than actually go out and work and get an education and try to build my own wealth. Something somebody can't snatch from me. That's
in a partnership
what they are
together.
That's what I'm going off the what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they see. That's what they want. They don't want to work. They don't want to have to do that. They want to be able to not pay for anything, walk in stores and buy all of that stuff. It's laziness. That's just my opinion. I think it's all about everybody's lazy or entitled to feel like somebody's owed something. That's just how I see it.
And like I said, they want to start at the finish line. Like they want to get the rewards, but they don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to take the laps. Right. They want to start and finish like today.
Right.
And they want all the rewards and all the glamour that comes with it. So, and they need to understand you got to put that work in, which they don't want to do. And social media, a lot of that platform, you don't really have to put the work in. You could just glorify all the goods and let people see that, and it can happen just like that. You could be a star like right now.
Right.
Social media. And before social media, it took time enough to do that.
Two things. One is definitely the signs of the time that we live in. Now everybody, like when I was 8 and 9 years old, you get a bicycle. And somehow a way you needed a bicycle every Christmas because you tore the last one up like legit. Now it's just tablets and phones that's in their face. So it's a sign of the times that we living in as far as like socially. And then also too, what you just said, they all want they want to start at the finish line. A lot of times they don't understand because it doesn't get documented on how hard the people who they see blown up on YouTube have to work. I heard that guy, the white guy, the boxer, Jake Paul, he said that, and he was just like, people just, know him as a YouTube boxer or just a content poster. And I saw him on the interview, and that man was like, he said, man, I posted on YouTube every day for 800 days in a row. And I'm just like, bro, most people don't even remember to brush their teeth 800 days in a row.
Twice.
And I'm just like, yeah. But he said he posted content for 800 days in a row. But the young kids, if they didn't see that candid interview with him being on his adult stuff, they just see him being on the goofy YouTube and just posting, making crazy rap songs, and they like, oh, this a silly white guy, he privileged, but don't know he worked to get like that. The first video I looked at his YouTube, it was a rap video. The man had like, I want to say 15 million dislikes. And I was like, I've never seen that. He had like 7 million likes, but 15 million dislikes. But what people don't know, those 15 million dislikes are interaction.
Absolutely.
He probably still made, $250,000 off that video. that he did with his homeboys
Right.
around the house.
Mm-hmm. He had 22 million views
Yeah.
altogether.
And they don't understand how hard
like
they like, why you boxing and this and that? The dude like, man, I've been getting my ass whooped every day since I was 21. He said, I take this serious. He said, I'm in the gym every day. They see me posting content. He said, but before I post content, I'm in the gym every day, 5-6 hours a day. The kids don't understand that.
Consistency
Always,
is key.
what I heard before, the only time that success come before work is in the dictionary. That's it. That's the bigger thing. The kids need to get taught that these people have a process. You don't see their process. I'll see people who are selling courses online and they'll be like, oh, I had $0 in this year. I did this, did that, did, and they'll tell you 3 steps. And it's just like, okay, what about the other 18 steps? Who you had to borrow money from, why you was even $100,000 in debt. You had some money somewhere to get $100,000 in.
Yep. You was living with your mama.
Exactly. Nobody tells that part when
I ain't bring up those out. They got my mama.
Yeah,
Right.
I worked two full-time jobs overnight and this and that for this amount of time, saved my money because I didn't pay my mama nothing.
Right.
I took that $10,000, I put it on this. They don't explain that whole process. It's just like, yeah, I had $0 here. 2 years later, I got 8 Airbnbs, 10 cars on Turo, and I'm bringing in $500,000 a month in revenue. Buy my course.
Right.
Look what I did. I'm gonna tell you what I
there for 20 minutes and then that 21 minutes.
Nobody
this is
explains the
for sale.
process now, but with the people thinking dating is very much predicated on the era and the times that we live in. Like I put a video out like a month ago about no R&B music.
That's what I was just about to say.
No R&B music. They don't even know about how to make love. I learned how to make love to
Keith Sweat, Boys the Men, they begged when they messed up.
I lost my virginity to boys.
Keith Sweat.
I was 8 years old. That when Keith Sweat album came out, 8 years old. I knew the whole album. I was 8. I knew that whole Keith Sweat. Auntie play that Keith Sweat. That's what I'm asking for at 8 years old.
Gave you the game.
But I had Balance too coming until played me the Keith Sweat album. I knew Anita Baker rapped her whole album. I knew Lisa Stansfield whole album, but I also knew Houdini, Too Short, and NWA albums, and 2 Live. I'm bought me my first 2 Live albums. You're like my baby Dallas.
And I mean, even though he's
Got worms.
blackballed, let's let him back. R. Kelly, he made some wonderful music.
He did make
Some wonderful music. Let's just
Like, wow.
we break the battle with R. Kelly.
That's true. That's true.
But now all the music is
Painted now. Like,
yes.
oh, R. Kelly.
They rap. It's rugged. It ain't even ratchet. It's rugged.
It is.
Women are rugged.
I'm thinking about like what the high school prom looked like. I remember
I wonder,
like, well, like what they doing?
Slow for the last
do they
30, 40
They
years.
hot coochie.
they twerking.
They don't
Or-
that part.
So I don't even know if guys even dance anymore.
No, they say
Boys.
but they do.
Well, I know they're not slow dancing. I don't think anybody is slow dancing.
I remember trying to teach my sons how to slow drag so they can go to their first dance. And they was like, Mom, really? I said, get your ass over here. You are going to learn.
But you know what's so crazy? It already started a transition because our parents ain't have to teach us. We saw it on the videos.
Right.
Yeah.
On the song train.
Or we saw our parents do it.
Slow train.
Oh, we saw our parents do it.
The video shows.
Yeah, Saturday.
We saw our parents do it. At the parties that you weren't supposed to be peeking out the door.
And
Watching
it
them.
last 30 minutes.
You know,
That's how
So did you teach your son?
I taught my sons how to slow down.
I didn't have to.
He already knew.
He didn't know, but I always talked to my son. I was always open. I was
Does he
always
know how to slow drag?
listen. I was always open.
Oh gosh.
I was always candid.
Mm-hmm.
I was always honest. I didn't have to teach him nothing because he actually was one of those kids who listened with open ears.
So it's a no.
So the first time I heard my son talk on the phone to a girl, he was in 8th grade. He talked on the phone to her from the time I picked him up from his mom's house all the way to the Wellington Mall, which was probably about a 25-minute drive, right? He talked. I listened. I'm sure I turned the music down a little bit. And he just giving it to her. Even when we parked, he knew how to get off the phone and he put her to bed. He was like 13. He was like, all right, well, me and my dad about to get out there and bust a few corners. Go ahead and finish your homework and get you some rest.
But can you pay
Well
refreshed, Kurt?
Hold on. I said, hey, well, when you learn how to talk to females, or how you know how to do that? He was like, he tapped me like, he said, my dad, man. And got out the car.
But he still never learned to slow down.
Just finesse.
They don't have to rest him.
And he know how to dance.
Okay, so
And he'll dance.
he know how to finesse him.
And he'll dance. He one of them dudes. He just get it. I was so proud. I was like, I ain't even want to like show him, but I was like giddy inside. I'm like, man, he know what he doing. Like, I talk to people.
Yeah, for my side, you know what? I felt in the area. I did not show him how to slow drag. I did.
How old is he?
26.
Oh.
We can't.
I ain't sure him at that time, but he got everything else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think again, they didn't think that kind of stuff was cool at that time.
No,
They probably still
my
don't.
sons didn't at the time, but I still taught them how to because I knew they was going to the dance, and there was going to be some young lady that really may wanted to have
That's
dance.
his
And I taught
mother.
the
I was
proper
about
way.
to say,
Yeah, his mother probably did that. See, we not
Different-
that ain't our
difference
rule.
with women.
Yeah.
With men, we want our sons to become a man and experience certain things, but we also like if you a lame,
Yeah.
you a lame. I'm like, hey, bro, you ain't get that from me. That's from your mom's side. Like, I mean, I give. Listen,
That's what
but
the ladies
but hold on. You see how y'all reaction is? That's because all of y'all are women. I bet you, if my mother felt like she had to. My aunties did. My mother really didn't. But my aunties was the one who was giving me certain games. Oh, nephew, boy, you got to do this. You got to say this. You got to be like nephew. Put some cologne on. Nephew, put a necklace on. You got to have you some jewelry. That was my aunties.
Why your dad didn't teach you that part though?
One, my biological father was locked up. All of my
Your stepdad.
my stepfather, he was an example man. He was a old school country in the church type of dude. He just kind of like, you'll figure it out. If you need a little help along the way, he wasn't no player. He wasn't no smooth dude. Even my mother used to say, well, he wasn't out there enough. As soon as he graduated, he started him a family with his first wife. And like, when I think about it now, it's like him and my mother been together 35 years. He was married to my mother before he was even 30. She was like 24. So they was off the porch early. I mean, like, they were out of the game early.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. They had kids early, married early, and they both just kind of old school, old fashioned. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't curse. So it was only so much. He couldn't give me what I gave my son. He's not that type of man. He can't tell me about how to go out and hang out because he never did. My mother gave me, rules and regulations for hanging out. But again, women care about different things when it comes to their sons. Like, I'm the type, I give my son all the game in the world, and he go out there and blow it. I'd be like, boy, you're lame as fuck. Like, but women gonna have a different type of nurture. Y'all gonna always have a different type of handle. I'll watch my son when he played basketball when he was younger, and it was just like, yeah, bro, you sorry. You ain't nothing like me. Well, then his mom would be like, don't do my baby like that. He need training. And, when he get training and he start getting better, then that's when the parental side kick in. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I should have did that earlier. Like, instead of saying he was sorry.
Emotional intelligence.
That's guys sometimes. This guy not, if it was the daughter, we're totally different with the daughters.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna give them everything from, my baby can be 2 if she look at a piano too long. Oh, baby, you want piano lessons? Baby, she do a half a tone. But, oh, baby, you want to gymnastics? Yeah.
But that brings me to my next question. Can a single mother raise a man?
I would say yes, because I came from a single family home, you know what I mean? And I ain't had no parent, and, you learn from the people around you. So I think it's possible, but I think what's important is that that single mom or that single parent, she surround that child around the right people and just shield that child away from, you know, the negativity and all that kind of stuff. Because it can be done, and I think it is proven every day. It is challenging, but the other thing is, could she raise him to be a man?
That's what she asked.
Right.
I mean, so
She might be able to raise a child, but can she raise a man?
she's not a man. She's not a man, so no. But like I said, she could put him in the right environment where that could take place. Yes, you know what I mean. It could be done. You know what I mean? Because go ahead.
I think single mothers do their best that they can. As one who was a single mother, I did my best with my boys. Don't get me wrong. When I was married, my husband was there for although my oldest son wasn't his, the youngest son, he was there, you know, as guidance. But there are things that a mother can that teach their children to a certain age, and then I think at that point the dad really needs to kick in and take it home.
Take it right out.
And take it home. There's a certain nurturing that we need to give to a boy to a certain age, and then when that I want to say that age is like 11, 12, and then the daddy can take it home. Because I allowed my youngest son to go live with my ex-husband when we divorced. Because I knew I had given him everything to that age, and I knew his father had to take it home to bring it in for him to be a man.
And see, for me, at that age 12, you know, I was the man of the house. You know, and I was the one who was pretty much calling the shots and making
that's not
happen.
a good thing.
It is not a good thing, but when you surround around negativity, you know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, so I had to kind of step up and be the man, you know, the one who was more so doing things and looking out for my mom, because it was just me. I'm the oldest child. So it was just me.
Are you the only boy? Are there?
I got a younger brother.
Okay.
You know, and a younger sister, but it was really me. So I was very protective, and I was protective of who she chose to involve with. So sometimes that could be a situation too, because now, you know, you got this dude here, and I feel like I'm holding it down.
I'm the man.
You coming in, that's a problem. And I see that a lot with some women, you know what I mean, who have sons who are not the biological father of the kids that they're raising. That's a problem. And for me, it was some challenges there. You know, my mom did an excellent job from the time up that I was 12, 13. But again, you know, at that point, it's like, where you go? And then it's just the influences that surround me. You know, some good, some bad. But at the end of the day, for me, it turned out pretty good, you know. You know, I had my humbling experiences. Overall, they came out well. So
did your mom, ever have to check you on, you might be the oldest, but you're not the man of the house? Was that conversation ever had? Or do you feel like that responsibility was put on you?
I feel like the responsibility was really put on me.
Okay.
And that's
sometimes when you got situations, you know, rent need to be paid. You know
I would never put that on my child.
You know what I mean? It ain't that, you know, it's just because of the circumstances and situations. So I think she put that on me. It was just
you took it.
And I just
took it.
That's what we got to do. It ain't I ain't asking questions. Just what got to be done. I'm gonna do as a young man what I need to do to make whatever happen. You know, and I did that.
It's I agree with them both. Like my mother was, her whole intent, believe it or not, she was actually tougher than my father. My stepfather, who was in the house, he just a different type of man. I can't speak highly enough for him. He was just like the example. When they was like lead by example, I didn't have to look no further. I used to tell people I ain't have no heroes outside of my house. It was, you know, my mother and my father. And she was hard. She was like, I'm raising you to be the head of a household. You fail, you make me and my husband look bad. It was times where he had to pull her back, like, whoa, you doing too much. You being too hard. And what you said, Tiffany, about that age, once I got to a certain age, the disconnect with my mother and I was clear. It's like, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. I'm taller than you. You know, I got.
Wait a minute now.
I got this hair on my lip. Got this hair on my arm. Don't want to hear shit you got to say.
You sniffing that?
But
smelling yourself.
And especially when I, you know, get that virginity stuff out the way. It's like, look, man, I'm grown. or tell me to take my clothes out the washer and put them in the dryer. That's like type of thing. But
I used to walk past my boys and punch them dead in the chest just to let them know.
and see, my mother, she was like that until I got about 14 or 15, and then it was just like it was over her head. She never told me about it when I was younger, but as I got older, she would be candid with me. My father would be candid with me. He was just like, for the most part, your mother always had it under control. He said when it went over her head, that's when I stepped in. He said, just so happened, it ain't go over her head too much. But I clearly remember being 18 or 19. That's when he and I relationship got closer. It's like I called this man by his first name until I was like 18 years old. When I started calling him Dad and Pops when I was 18 or 19. Because that's when he had to come in, and it was just like, okay, have a seat, wife. I got it here. In the small things, the doses of information and things that he would give me, it was just like life lasting. I remember telling my biological father something when he was in prison that my stepfather told me, and he was just like, yo, I'm gonna tell all these young cats in here that they need to know that type of stuff. And he was he said, man, I tell all these young cats in here what your pop said. Like,
What your pop?
yeah, because I mean,
False respect.
he was even like that. He was like, when I met him, because I was like, man, how you could do all this time knowing that you have a seed out? And he was just like, one, the caliber woman your mama was, I saw it when we were 15, 16 years old. He was like, and I knew she wasn't going to never have you around certain type of people. He was like, when I met your stepfather, I was just like, couldn't have picked a better man. He said, and that was from the first time we met, when he had got out of prison. My mom invited him over, him and his girlfriend, for dinner. He was just like, I saw the caliber of man he was. I knew I would never have to worry about you. So you have to have a man. If it's not a man in the house, it have to be men around. Because I tell people, my dad had 3 brothers. None of them really gave me any kind of pertinent message when I was younger, except the second oldest brother. He told me something, gave me a tidbit of game when I was like 14 years old. It still exists with me today. Same stuff I regurgitate to my son and any other young fella who will open his ears and listen. So you have to have, that village of people. Like, women told me a lot of things when I was coming up. My aunts, homegirls, friends, but it was those things. And then the type of man my stepfather is just like, he's a no nonsense man. So it's just certain things that I can't, even now at my age, before you walk in his house and you see his truck in the driveway, it's like, well, your pants up, put that belt tighter in that extra loop, next loop. I don't care if it cuts your circulation off. Because my pop's still tight, man, who might jack your pants up on your ass when you walk in his house. It's just a different level of like, man. So it definitely, like, women do, like Tiffany said, y'all do y'all best. But I even tell you that with your son. I'm just like, he gonna be trying to whoop your ass by the time he's 12. And I already see it.
Not mine. Because like I said,
He's 8.
to walk up past him in the hallway and just...
Yeah.
Caleb is going to be a big boy. He almost comes to my shoulder at 8. So
He's gonna be wearing my shoes next week.
he is, and we were talking about something on Sunday, and because I was trying to figure out my schedule, he was like, well, let me see, what you can do is, I said, whoa, I'm mommy. You're the kid. I got it. I don't need you to figure it out for me. So he was just saying with that, because I think boys just...
It's a natural process.
Yeah. He is 8.
It doesn't matter. I didn't do certain things when I was a certain age because I was scared of my mother. By the time I hit her height and we were eye to eye, I could care less how she felt, what she had to say. Men will do everything that our moms told us not to do and warned us about, and they'll be the first phone call we make as soon as we get in trouble. Always.
For sure.
I was afraid of them bringing embarrassment upon my father in the house because I knew the caliber of man he was early. I never wanted nobody to be like, well, what's wrong with Fuse, boy? He this type of man, his son is this type of person. And then I just never wanted to have to deal with him. Like, we still, all of that. Most times the son be bigger than the father. No, all 5 of his boys still not bigger than him. Nobody's bigger than him, and nobody wants any problems with him. I'm a grown man, and I think if all 5 of us jump him, we still might take a L. And 3 of us in our 40s. So it's like, I'm like, damn, we still might lose if we try to jump him. But that's the psychological stuff that men put on kids. Like I said, my father has never cursed, raised his voice, threatened, none of that. But we still don't want no problems. We don't want no problems just because of how he hug you when he miss you. He hug you so hard it feel like he about to break your collarbone. It's like, I can imagine if he mad.
No need to go to the chiropractor.
This is what he seen in a couple months. Like,
so that doesn't lead to my next question, but I have another question. It's going back to the whole dynamic between men and women. What's that mean? So truthfully, what's more important? The value a person brings to your life, or how good they look on your arm in public, and does one outweigh the other?
That's easy.
That's so easy.
The value.
Value, of course. I don't care what he looks like. I just want to be attracted. You don't got to.
So what if he's not attractive
Beauty is
to you, but he
What?
you said, look, she already said she ain't gonna be with nobody. She said he has to be attracted to me. She don't care for me.
Y'all probably want to think
But attraction is not always about what you look like on the outside.
Absolutely. It's the
Somebody, you can be attracted to how they treat you, their mannerisms, that,
I'm about to say
that it can be attractive. Some of the most beautiful people have such ugly,
gross. Yeah, for sure.
ugly personalities. So yeah, you can become attracted to someone, their internal as opposed to their out.
But what I think too, I think what's important,
You want both?
who you ask. You know what I mean? Us,
True.
we all over 40, so we know what's important to us now.
Right.
But if you ask us when we was in our 20s, 30s, it may be a different response because now you're looking at something, a little bit more that's not tangible. You're looking at what looks good. Right now we're looking at, what's our quality.
All I see is big stuff. Big.
So that's what's important to us at this point where we at in our life. How is that person going to contribute to the quality of life?
Right. Our quality of life.
Just like you said, with it depends on who you asking. Right now, all of us in here probably along the same lines. Like, I don't care what other people think of somebody. It's what I think, how I feel, or whatever. But you also have that separate group of people who their quality of life by themselves might just be above and beyond. And we talked about this on another episode. But yeah, some dudes just, they want that arm candy. And me, still at my age, I look at that and I'm just like, bro, you're in a losing situation with that. When you see these guys who, bro, you're worth $300 million. She's a nanny.
But is that for a long distance or fun time?
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm saying, and I'm just using a title, but forget saying a nanny. She's a nobody.
She's a hundredaire.
He's a
millionaire. She's 100.
And I can give the examples. I'm giving the examples that I'm talking about. I just give an example. I say 2 of them. When I said the nanny, I was thinking Tiger Woods. When I said a nobody, I was thinking Paul McCartney wife. Then Mel Gibson wife. But these dudes was like, you 900 million up and you just marrying for the looks or whatever. Like, and it's just like, you really think that chick love you like that, bro?
But it's not what
She did though.
But then as soon as they have their first argument, they get divorced and they get them 200 million and they get out of there and then they go fuck with who they really like.
Truth be told, those women stayed with those men for quite some time. They weren't in and out.
Tiger wife was there 5 years.
But they were married before he
5
was
years.
really famous.
No.
He was single.
Tiger was 12 majors in.
Yeah.
his career. I knew it. I said, oh boy, he ain't even gonna make his tea time.
Well, he was cheating on. She had found out he was cheating.
Tiger should have kept.
She had found out he was cheating with the Waffle House chick and the waitress.
It wasn't Waffle House.
was
it was Bennigan's, and she wasn't a waitress. She was a bartender.
But you ain't gonna know anything about Waffle House,
And she wasn't a waitress. She was a bartender.
She was, but she had been with him, but he cheated. No, there came out all these women he cheated on. That's why she left.
Let me clear up something.
So had that not happened, she may not have
Let me
left him.
clear up something. I say that because these guys, I don't know if they're really trying to find love, because some of them seem like they're trying to find love when they get $500 million. And it's not, I can see if they were just trying to have fun. They really be trying to find love. I'm just like, I'm one of them guys. I feel like I would like to make that, ascension with somebody who I already had. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't have $500 million. And if I ever did, I don't think it's anybody that'll come into my life once I'm at $500 million that'll just.
that you would trust.
Yeah. Not to say that they wouldn't love me just for me, but it'll have to come from a certain angle just because of what I've been through and seen in life. I wouldn't know how to trust that. And I guess that's a something that I would have to work on.
Yeah,
but
It's tricky.
it's hard.
Yeah.
And I would even say that for a woman too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that. Hey man, okay.
I mean, you got Cher dating a 20-something-year-old.
Oprah still
Cher?
Hey,
Cher is like almost.
they're having fun.
How is she though?
Hey, Oprah still dealing with the same dude and they ain't been married because Oprah got her beams on.
He
Oprah
got
know
money.
what it is.
He's not as rich as her.
He got Oprah's money, but he's sharing the world. He's not broke.
Hey,
He wasn't when she met him.
I'm gonna tell you what my grandma said about that whole situation.
I ain't talking about.
Listen, they had an argument. Her and my mother had an argument one time. And my grandmother was just one of those type of women who was like, if I got $1 million, he better have 1,000,001. She was just that type. Couldn't talk her off of that. She was stood strong on that. So my mother was like, well, Oprah Stedman, he come from a well-to-do family and they had money. So my grandmother sucked her teeth, did that huffing and puffing, got quiet for about 20 seconds. She said, he might have had $2. But he ain't have $2.95.
Hey, grandma.
So I was, listen. She was just like she didn't understand love if it wasn't equally financial. And this coming from a woman who had to have her kids, raised her kids, endured certain stuff.
True. Yeah, I think different things work.
Two baby fathers. So and for me, right now it's just like, I'm on the grind. Somebody who with me right now, loving me right now. Oh, I'm bringing you to the top with me, even if I got to drag you there because I understand it. But if I got 500 million just off of my muscle, my grind, my talent, my skill set, and then I look at those guys' situations and I don't see where it's an element of true love. And it always ends the same way. In divorce. She'll have her. Cause I saw Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson was already blown up. They had a clause in her prenuptial with that guy she was with. She couldn't get nothing from him until she sired a child from him and had been with him for 5 years. The
5 years and one day.
I don't think the child was in it.
And yes, it was.
It was the child was in it?
And she had a child and hit the 5-year mark. She filed for divorce.
She was already worth $300 million.
And she walked away with $500 million of his money too. But at the same time, she was worth $300 million. He was worth way more.
Well, Kert, let me ask you a question.
And his whole thing was he wanted Janet Jackson. He wanted to have a baby. They put that specifically in.
But let me ask you a question. Let's say you meet a woman. She is everything you ever wanted in a woman, hypothetically, or either one of you. And she's wealthy. She has money. You are nowhere near her digits, her tax bracket. But you want her. You want to be with her. And she turned around and said, because you ain't got 100 million in one. How would that make you feel?
At what point did she say that?
Well, once.
I was about to say.
No, I'm
If
saying.
I'm nagging a while.
But you wanted to go further. You wanted to go further. You want to get married. You want to be in a relationship. Why she's like, because you ain't got the kind of money I got. How would that make you feel?
I would probably just. I'm always with my thinking cap on, so me going into that situation, I'm already knowing what it's hitting for.
Kurt, come on.
You asked me,
Like, I know.
I'm just telling you, with me.
You in love with her. She's everything she tells you about.
Hey, if Oprah give me the time of day, I'm not in love with Oprah. I'm just having fun until the ride over. It's a ride at the fair. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I'm not thinking that no woman who's worth $1 billion is gonna take me serious. We seen this plenty. We seen J-Lo go through the dances. Through the
She went through a lot of people.
Hold on, and when I say the dances, I'm talking about the dudes. You be like, J-Lo messing with. It's like the people she messing with. Now that makes sense. Like, what's the actor Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Alex Rock,
Mark Anthony. Yeah.
Think twice about
Mark Anthony.
Julio Iglesias. Like,
I don't know.
That's
I went with him. Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony. That's what she.
But none of that worked though. Even though she married on her tax bracket, none of it has worked for her.
It don't work because they all in Hollywood. They all famous. They live by a different set of rules.
But Denzel has his. Denzel.
Yeah, because he had his wife before he was famous. Him and his wife,
his wife took care of him, so he could go out.
He's sound and grounded.
Worked and paid the bills while he
supported him through the situation.
While he became
his wife, Samuel wife.
A lot.
I seen Samuel with his wife on the show, an interview, and he was there with her, and that man was sitting silent the whole time. His wife, he was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm Samuel, y'all know me," and he shut up and he put his head down, and his wife did her thing, but.
Well, she's an actress too.
But it was, but
and she stayed with Sam when he was on the crack.
Exactly, I say that because
you didn't know it.
You don't know what are you talking about?
It was on that stuff.
But see, you got
the dudes who had they women from like I said, See, we got on the bottom. She was with him when he was shooting in the gym.
You got to understand that women and men both, they in the situation for two totally different things. It depends on where you at in your life at that time, man or woman. For a man, that may, who especially a man who got power and money, having that trophy on his side may be important. And he may be, he's not concerned about his quality of life because he provide that for himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he don't.
So he wants stuff.
He just like the trophy. He just want. That's a missing piece.
Yeah.
Or whatever he got to do to get that, that's what he wants. So the love is not there, but what he want fulfills that need right then. Now, for a woman on the other end, you know what I mean? She looking for quality of life. You know what I mean? Love too. However, at this stage in the game, quality of life is way more important to that. You know, she ain't got to love that man cold-heartedly, but the quality of life, she gonna be happy with that, and she gonna deal with what she got to deal with, whether it's looks, sex, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He could be old as shit, but when she broke, she know she gonna get that fat check. She gonna pay for it. She gonna get that dude who she really want. You know what I mean?
We need it all. I need it all.
If the billionaires want me, right now, the billionaires. Listen, if she want me, I'm gonna want me some toys, man. I'm coming in there like a city. I'm a city boy when I come to the I'm like, hey, you seen that Phantom thing? Yeah. I was looking at one of those. I'm all in the bag. Babe, you seen that helicopter? I was thinking about
all the hell shit. Trust me, been there.
I'm gonna get me some things before I get kidnapped, man. I'm gonna have
something short new. Yeah. Get what you can get while you in it.
Are we all single?
So,
what? Okay, hold on. You're married?
No.
Okay, so we're all single by paper.
Yeah.
Really?
By paper.
Is marriage a thing in 2023?
It very much is. People still getting married every day.
Are they staying?
Well, you know, with the increase of technology
I don't know those.
and things like that, I think that's really you know, compromising a lot of marriages. You know what I mean? Cell phone, social media.
Well, those things have to those things have to be operated by the person. So it's not necessarily, you know, you got to indulge in.
Hey, I'm just saying, cell phone, and social media done broke up a lot of marriages.
I think
Come on now, that stuff wouldn't happen back in the day. Now, come on.
but it wasn't like back in the day. Well, was it one cheating?
No, Mr. Willie was cheating.
Oh, back in the day, that was no video of him cheating.
That's the way the Willie had like 4 kids on the same block.
Yeah.
You ain't find out till it about when the kid was about 20 years old.
That's because
I'm just
side women knew their positions and their place.
social media.
What if they didn't know they were a side chick and they thought they were?
They knew.
Mr. Willie days.
No, Mr. Willie didn't have.
Oh, back in the days, they knew.
They knew.
Everybody in the
See,
community knew.
But see, now
Nobody just
a
didn't talk
married
about it.
man can put up 1,000 posts on social media and it all look like he a single hot boy.
No, my problem is you can't even a man can't even give you a compliment or say anything without these girls before they even smash the dude. They run into social media. Oh, he was in my DMs. And that is like the most. I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you,
it to you.
it's social media has made the game so just unadulterated. I just got told a story today about somebody in somebody's DM it was a woman in the guy's DM. She was married. And I'm like, I see all her posts on social media and she look like she happily married, taking trips with her husband, this and that, and she,
all of a side.
she in the DM, yeah. Same,
I
then it be
understand why
vice
she
versa
did.
with the guys.
why is privacy a thing anymore?
Screenshots.
Huh?
Why isn't privacy a thing anymore?
Because the era that we live in.
Would you say why
everything-
isn't it?
It's the era that we live in. We can't help it.
I make a choice to live private. I think it's a choice you make. I
Yeah.
live private.
And it's very difficult because I can be somewhere videoing and taking pictures because I like videos and I like pictures. I like my memories. I won't post nothing in real time. I'll take a video.
Right.
I'll take a video today and it might get posted 2 years from now. I just posted something that was 2 years and somebody was like, oh, well, when you? I'm like, man, that
Have
shit
fun,
from
bring
20.
it back.
Right? That was from 2020.
I've done a lot of
It'll be-
trips and
it'll be somebody
But I'm
else.
post in real time. Those are my
Yeah.
like photo albums.
Yes.
Go see
family. I post my information. I live a very private life. I like living a private life. I don't have to post everywhere I go, everything to
To live
everybody.
a private life, you
So-
have to let every single person, I went somewhere back in, I think it was October, and it was like 15 of us,
Mhm.
right? Everybody was kind of on the same page with how we handle just having fun, hanging out. One guy there, oldest guy there, he didn't get the memo. He's going,
Tagging all y'all.
come on. He thought it was my
But
birthday.
see, that's the thing. I don't
My birthday.
I don't
He
travel
didn't know
with
you didn't like
anybody. I don't travel with anybody. I don't do things
Yeah,
with
but-
anybody.
This is the era we live in. And
Has to be
I
seen
was-
or it didn't
I was
happen.
getting back, and I heard people like, "Oh man, y'all had a good time down there, such and such." I'm like, "How you found that?" Oh, so and so. He go live. He posts everywhere, and I'm just like, I had to pull him to the side. And next time I was like, "Hey man,"
Most of my
Cool
friends
and
don't
all,
even have
but,
social media, truth be told.
I was like, "You don't know who had what kind of motion going on, who was down
Exactly.
there, who lied to their significant other and said,
But just stuff like everybody
bowling with the guys, and they was, hanging and swinging like."
You saying you out of town, your house just
Yeah, it's
wrong. Like that don't make sense.
Yeah.
we live in a whole, like you said, before you can go out of town and your neighbors across the street and both next door watch your house.
Yes.
Now, you better have that camera on your thing.
Mhm.
I don't even speak. I speak in passing. I don't know my neighbors across from me, above me. I see the people come downstairs, but I don't have no neighbors on either side of me. I see the people come downstairs. I don't know their name. I don't know who stay. I don't know if they stay above me or across above. And the people under me, I see them, but they're not the biggest speakers.
Yeah.
My neighbors
So
will
it's
watch
like-
my house and they tell me when they're leaving. The people across the street and then I got the,
Where other
the
people
people in the
I all look out. We all look out for
You live in a neighborhood.
The
I
other
live in a
neighborhoods.
complex. It's a different.
Now, when I lived in a complex,
Yeah, cause
I avoided my neighbors.
yeah, that was quite much. You mean to have the same neighbor, but when you like own, you know, so I know my neighbors for 15 years. It's like
So
they tell all my business.
So yeah, that in general is just like when I leave out of town, I kind of like put my bag in the car at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want people to know I'm going out of town,
Mm-hmm.
and it don't matter like how long it is, but it's just that's where we're at now in life. Everybody has a camera. I saw a post today. It showed Tiger Woods passing something to another player on the PGA Tour, and when the player saw it, he took it. Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it real quick. And it was like an inside joke between them. The
Them two.
dude saw it. He fell out laughing. You see they laughing. But somebody got a picture, zoomed it in. It's just like,
It made a
It
thing.
made
My
something out of
my
it.
homeboy sent it in our group chat. It's like 4 guys. And he sent it in our group chat. He said, damn, man, men can't even be guys no more. And when he said it like that, he didn't say men can't even be men no more. He
Guys.
said guys, because when we're being guys, that's when we tell the inappropriate jokes. We doing the, we saying the words that's outlawed now, like fag, like, and we're not meaning it to be disrespectful
Right.
to nobody except who we're saying it to. Like, bro, quit acting like a damn fag. Like, but we're only meaning it to be like, hey man, quit acting girly, because we ain't never say that growing up. We ain't say, bro, quit being girly and all of that. Though. We saying fag and sissy. Type of
True.
Right.
But now,
You can't say that. The alphabet.
I was about to say now
Alphabet
saying
City.
sissy, but
The alphabet city will
that's,
come on down.
All them alphabets.
now
The
a
alphabet.
homosexual or feel some type of way about that. And I'm just like, bro, we have homosexual family members.
Yeah.
We
Yo, guys, that we
deal
rub.
with and, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
People being out of feelings
They
all the
do.
time.
we ain't homophobic. That's just how we grew up.
Yeah.
Like running our mouth. Whether it was right or wrong. We was very harsh, to all of each other. Like,
I
but
got one more question. That's it.
Okay.
So I said the last question was, is marriage a thing in 2023? Now, do you, since all of us are single, marry for love, or do you consider marriage to be a business transaction?
I consider it. The way
If I'm going, I've been married, divorced. If I'm going to get married again, I would like love to be a factor into that.
It wasn't a factor the first time. I'm just
Long story. We'll go to another show.
Okay.
Since this is the last question.
okay.
I think that, kind of going back to when we were talking, I think that if you're dating somebody that is independently wealthy than you are, I believe in prenups. I don't have a problem with prenups.
Let's not factor in.
I'm just
the
saying.
amount of. Let's.
I'm
say
just saying,
y'all
so
two regular.
if you, two regular people, I would say, yeah, I think love should be a part of, because you got to wake up, lay next to somebody every day.
Mhm.
You got to be attracted to them. You got to like them.
Mhm.
So some kind of feeling of emotions has to be in that, not everything transactional. Although people do,
But can you
other
be with
cultures
them?
do arranged marriages all the time.
True.
And it works. Some of them be together 50 years and have all kind of children together, and it works. So for me, I would like some type of emotion to be in that if I ever get married again. I don't know if marriage is a thing for me. I can be in a committed whole relationship without the document. I could do that. I can commit without the document. But if that's I'm in love with him, he in love with me, and that's what he wants, and we want to get, then yeah, maybe so. But it's not a thing for me, not anymore.
Okay.
Well, it definitely has to be for love, for sure. But I think it does include a business transaction, if that makes sense. Like, but it can't be solely on the business aspect. Like I could just be by myself if that was the case, because I'm okay by myself. So it definitely has to include love, but we gotta take care of the business part too.
So he can't be someone who's struggling to get a level.
She already told you about it.
For the big sister was
What if it's not McDonald's? What if it's like
Well, question.
No, but I need him to be financially already successful on his own, is stable on his own. Doesn't have to be a millionaire. 'Cause
Right.
I'm not a millionaire.
Right.
But
Right.
he can't be struggling still trying to figure a whole bunch of life out.
At 40.
No, because I've been 43 in a couple weeks. Like,
Right.
crazy.
That's a young person question. That's a 20-something-year-old question. At our age, no. You got to come.
I'm not even talking about McDonald's. I'm just like, what if he makes significantly less?
And he's stable, like has his own place, not staying with his mom, doesn't have a roommate, like stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, we can work on something. But he can't be
I didn't say work on something. A marriage.
But
Forever.
But what's his like goals? Like, doesn't he have so is he like comfortable?
Open, right.
That's the open-ended question.
That's a lot factored into
Is he
that.
comfortable in his current situation? Like, does he have ambition to reach further? Like, is there like a substantial plan?
Whole bullet point.
But I can help him. He can help me, type thing.
Yeah.
We need some bullet
Yeah, we can. Yeah. But he can't be comfortable where he is.
Right.
We thinking we gonna stay there.
That is the most unattractive thing in the world.
No. You could chill a little bit, but come on now, bro. You gotta.
you looking for somebody with some potential.
Potential.
Potential don't pay bills.
Oh, no.
Potential is.
You'll marry somebody potential and get their reality.
No, it has to be like a plan in place, like he's already executing.
They need to replace potential with like ambition
I try.
and put a.
But what if they have ambition but no plan?
But no push, no push.
But potential is ambition, right?
For me,
What's your potential? Potential what?
Because potential can, like I said, can go either way. You could potentially be a bum.
Yeah.
You can potentially be all right.
Yeah.
Like,
and see, I look at it, at this stage in the game, you want a partner. You know what I mean? Somebody that's gonna grow with you, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want nobody riding on your coattail at this point. You got to match my vibe, you know what I mean? Because in order to get to that level or what you're trying to get to, it gotta be reciprocal. You gotta have somebody that's driven, that's matching your vibe. Like we at the age right now, I ain't trying to build you. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I ain't saying that to nobody that's trying to build and get to that level. But I'm trying to go somewhere. And if I gotta, and I'm purposely driven, and if I gotta stop to take care of you, to do all this here, I'm not gonna reach me on to my goal. So I need that person on my side who's gonna help me get to where I'm getting to. And as I get to where I get to, you're gonna benefit from that, and we're gonna ride this thing together.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking for somebody, a partner. That's somebody that's gonna ride with me, that's ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? If you ain't ready to rock and roll and you can't match my vibe, let's not even take it there. You know what I'm saying? We could just play a little bit if that's what you want to do. But you ain't ready to take it to where I'm ready to take it.
I totally.
I need some.
I totally.
I know.
I totally.
bars. He dropped one.
Bars.
So does that make it a business transaction?
If that's what you want to call it for me.
Oh,
Because again, you got to think about your quality of life. We at like I'm 44. You know what I'm saying? Just turned 44. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already like a half. I done lived half of my life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live about 100. So I'm always halfway there. So I'm gonna ride this thing on that. So I need that person who ready to vibe with me on this way out. So if you got time to play, I ain't with that. I ain't on them type of plays. We trying to get there. So let's get there. So you need to be ready to par and ready to rock and roll. If you're ready to rock and roll, stay back there.
Well, I'm short and sweet on this one because with everybody I like on this one, I want to do business with somebody that match my vibe.
All right.
He said it all. When he said match my vibe, I was thinking along those terms, long-winded, but that's it.
Yeah.
I want to do business with somebody who match my vibe.
It is that simple.
I have a friend that she was single. When I met her, she was single. But she let it be known to all of us, I want a husband. I'm like, oh, okay. But the more and more she talked about it, it was like, She was like, marriage is a business transaction. But she was somebody who had a career. She was known, traveled. So whoever, and she did get married recent, 2-3 years ago.
Still married?
Mm-hmm.
Business of marriage.
But listen, you got to think about it too. When you think about it really is a business decision.
Yeah.
Think about it. You know, if I got an 800 credit score and you got you got less than a 500, now I want to live in this community. Guess what? I can't even live there because of you. Because we both got to have at least a 750. You got a 500. I can't even do it. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to co-sign on everything that you're doing. You know, so you bringing down the quality of life that I want to live. So you got to be able to match my vibe. I'm using the same system that them folks use because it's been proven. You know what I'm saying? It's been proven. You know, so they making the thing happen.
Let me say one thing about that I understand now, right? Hold on.
No, I never.
He said, "Cause it's proven." The only thing, I guess, slight objection I have to say to that is sometimes you can catch somebody who match your vibe, but they just wasn't aware of certain things just because of the type of people they've dealt with in the past. And I seen that through my friends type of thing, where it's just like, was just dealing with people who wasn't teaching you about nothing. They were willing to learn. It's just like, yeah, they ain't got no 400 credit score, but they ain't at 700. They about 590 and they only 590 because you just ain't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't trying to get credit because you was just dealing with people who was cashing out.
Right.
And I say that because I actually been there. I remember being 36, 37 and like, F all that credit stuff, man. As long as you got enough cash, it don't matter. Because I was married to people who had enough cash where the cash
was king.
didn't matter. But then when I got on my own and I had my own cash, but then you see where you come to that stop, because it's just like, okay, yeah, you got the cash, but this is how we know you.
Right.
And that's when it started clicking at like 36, 37. We're like, wait a minute, it don't matter how much cash you have. These people only know you by that credit score. And that credit score says he pays his bills on time. He's competent with the card. He knows how to use it, because you can have $100,000 in your bank account and owe somebody $400 and still be paying them late every month. So that's it. It clicked in late for me. So now I kind of show a little, I'm a little empathetic, I guess, to people who is like, oh, nah, you not like this because this how you are. You like this because you didn't know and nobody was teaching you. Now, you know better.
You do better.
Yeah.
And I say that, jokingly, you know what I mean? But of course, different people, they have situations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, so you want them to bring value to the relationship.
And you can bring value to a relationship, and it doesn't always have to be financial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because while you're trying to build your business, she may know how to do bookkeeping. She may know how to do something to add to your business and that helps it grow.
And that was
and she may have a
point.
She may have a 500-600 credit score.
Absolutely.
But she know how to do that to help your
She
business
got
grow.
that 500-600 because she
But see, that's
dealt with nobody who dealt with credit.
Yeah. And see,
But
that's what I'm going to say. That's
has
my
the
point.
ability to help him grow his business, although her credit score may be low.
So not just the homeowner credit score. I would just use that as an analogy.
No, I was
you
just-
know what I mean? But
Right.
they got to bring something to the table is what I really mean. You know what I'm saying?
As long as it takes
Everybody
strong and ain't already
everybody
broken.
have different values that they bring. So as far as that business relationship, you got to identify what value that person bring and how it's gonna help us get to the finish line. You know what I mean? And help us navigate through this thing called life and live and have a good quality of life. Whether it's that person who could be very nurturing along the way. They may not have the credit score, which is okay, but they may have other skills sets that can get you, you know what I'm saying,
To where you need to be.
So as a partner in that relationship, you got to identify what your strengths are, and she have to identify what her strengths and weaknesses are. And if y'all can identify that together and communicate that together, hey, and they both align right, we can run it, man. There's line, rally flags.
Now,
That's what it is.
yeah, you got to be, speak the language, work together.
Absolutely.
she may bring out some things in you didn't know you could do or, were able to, and you vice versa.
Absolutely.
And you run with it. Totally agree.
Business transaction with the same vibe.
And credit score.
Same vibe.
What if I
5 credit scores within like 40 points of each other. That's same vibe. Yeah.
Correct.
Those are all the questions that I had.
thank y'all.
Thank you. This was fantastic.